Welcome to the Foolery Show, where we take sad topics and try to make them sound positive.
Starting off, chickens in factory farms are raised in horrifying conditions. Some chickens actually never see sunlight. They are being raised in half the time they were in the 1950s, 49 days first 3 months. But even in half the time, they are ending up twice as big, which is thanks, to antibiotics and other things. Their growth is actually so fast that they can't walk because their bones haven't developed enough yet. While this may seem pretty dire, a way to see this as a positive light is this is impressive, being able to provide food extremely fast for everyone. Generally raising a chicken from its inception to actual dining room table has taken an extremely long time. So supply lines, when they break, we can basically lose everything. But thanks to these progresses, we can now, in 49 days, you can go from egg to table. And that's something incredible to be. Maybe it's in a horrifying way that we've managed to, move chickens forward, but it's very incredible in that we can keep ourselves alive, and the supply line is going to replenish after 50 days. So, second topic: Vincent van Gogh died alone in obscurity, penniless, and by his own hand at the age of 37. He's a very famous painter, but didn't get very famous until after death. So how can this be a good thing? Well, if anyone who's seen the news or a bunch of craziness on YouTube or anything, sometimes fame is not a good thing. Sometimes fame can destroy people from ever becoming the best that they could ever be. In fact, bring down society as a whole. Van Gogh has a unique area where maybe his life was, very broken, very, disheartening, but never achieved that theme, and his, work will live on forever. So he gained the being able to live forever, but not actually living forever. So third topic, the 1961 milligram shock experiment showed that ordinary people are likely to follow orders given by an authority figure, even to the extent of killing an innocent human being. Obedience to authority is ingrained in us all from the way we were brought up. So on one hand, you see that people can do horrible things with authority. When someone tells them someone's okay, horrible things can be done. And this allows any number of people to do any number of horrible things. However, on the flip side, you see that this is actually great power. Because if you could not kill someone or hurt someone to save more people, then the human race would be over. That whole idea is a survival tactic. If you have to punch someone in the face to save them or get them nonsense, or you have to kill this for the greater good, that is a survival instinct that has kept the human race alive. Without it, we would have never gotten out of where we were. So, fourth topic, Alan Turing, the father of computer science and instrumental in World War II code-breaking efforts, never had his accomplishments acknowledged, and was prosecuted for being gay and was chemically castrated. So, this is one of those things where you see that someone's life has just been broken down and to nothingness, disparity, though having great achievements. So, unfortunately, how human usually works, humans in general, is someone's got to die for it. Someone's got to die to make a change. And in fact, many people die for no change. So the fact that he has died to make this come to life says a lot about him. This is his life may have been a tragedy, but his experience by himself. But as a whole objective, looking at the human race, it's an inspiring thing. Crushing, but inspiring. In 2012, one of the most requested gifts by children in the United Kingdom was a father. Now, this is an interesting one because you go along the way of saying, any parent can raise a kid. But at the same time, you see this as a father. I think this is a good thing because it shows that there is a need for family. Family is important. It's not your environment that makes you, or you can be independent by yourself. You actually do want that family, and family is important to everyone. It makes us say that, family should not be taken for granted, and maybe there is some rhyme and reason to all this family BS they shove down our throats. The Iraq War has cost the U.S. taxpayers over $2 billion, and now with troops being withdrawn from Afghanistan, the Taliban is taking over the country again. While this seems kind of pointless because what the heck was accomplished, you realize that the beauty is you gave these people a chance. While you may seem a total waste for taxpayers, you went in, introduced our kind of democracy to them, our kind of liberty to them, and realized, that this is how we think things should be. Everyone has died, but what was it for? What it does is it proves us wrong. It proves that the American form of democracy is not appropriate in all situations. It proves that our, American exceptionalism applies to Americans, but maybe not to everyone else. Maybe this is a core belief change that the Taliban actually is not the real enemy here. Maybe that's how these people want to be. Maybe us being there for any terms of time, whether it be years or 2 years or how long it's been now, was irrelevant and never really was a police action worth taking. And maybe that's a good thing.
All right, so topic number 6. Hundreds of Afghans who risked their lives to assist the U.S. military with interpreting and other services have found themselves abandoned as the U.S. pulls out of Afghanistan. Many translators have had their families and loved ones harmed and kidnapped due to helping the U.S. military. And this is one of those tragedies of war, of tragedy of invading force coming in, taking over, and the people who are sympathizing or helping out them are getting horrified, and it's a really terrible situation. However, a positive viewpoint might say the strength of the people in Afghanistan, the strength of their culture. Even despite being, us being there for like 20 plus years, the culture and the people are still there. They know who is with them and who is not with them. They're not just some war-torn country where no one sides with anyone, or there's, multiple identities, multiple mix. There is one unison identity. And granted, no one wants anyone to get killed, and I think this is a horrible thing. But at the same time, it's positive to know that that region has a very solid identity. These people that were sympathizing with the U.S. are being, ostracized. They're not being allowed back in, which is a very interesting nationalistic thing that is not so common these days. This is, invading force comes in, even though we might have been under good pretenses, is not treated as such. And that's maybe something inspiring to look up to. Thanks for listening. Any suggestions, comments, or topics you want to send us, please send it to us at thefooleryclub@gmail.com.